Hello, and welcome to part two of episode 63. I'm your host, Nip Swag. This is your host, Frisco in the building, and we have another very special guest today, Miss
Monique Nicole.
I was gonna say it, but she said it. Go on, Monique Nicole. Tell them who you are.
Monique Nicole. I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. I'm a real estate investor. I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah, I'm retared law enforcement detective sergeant, Nassau County.
Oh, you really work out?
Yeah.
I was, sergeant. Yes.
I saw that was on your Instagram. I didn't see that. I was scrolling too. I was like,
it's there somewhere.
I said the feds come.
I cannot.
They coming to get us.
Retired.
But now you've transitioned from that into a singer, songwriter,
songwriter, actress. Yeah.
What have you acted in?
Producer. Produced my own movie. Back in 2 years ago, it's on Tubi. Deeper Than Law.
Movie. What's it called?
Deeper Than Law.
Deeper Than Law.
Mm-hmm.
Man, look, my best friend be on them Tubi movies. I'm learning how to be a kidnapper.
I cannot.
From watching Tubi movies.
Yes, you was in a bunch of hood movies. Yes. C, not even P-rated, C-rated. They was D-rated movies.
They
Y'all
G-rated movies.
You don't even watch any of the movies. If it says Manip on there, don't watch it.
Hey,
Oh.
watch it. Support it. It's real out here.
It is real.
So you have a Tubi movie. You said you produced it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, myself and Michael Stemley. And we actually starred in it as well. My brother is in it. He played my lieutenant. So funny. I played a detective that was taking down a drug lord.
The Tubi movies be for real. I ain't gonna lie. Some of them be like, all right, I can't even get into it. But some of them be like, ooh, what's finna happen next?
Nigga, you know what's gonna happen next.
Nah, sometimes you don't. They be throwing some twist into them Tubi movies. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes.
For real. That gas station movie with Jock, I did not know that's where they was headed with that.
Gas station.
See, you gotta get up on that thing, man. I don't know.
I'm gonna
and
watch
then
your movie.
I seen like 3, 4, 5 different kidnapping movies.
I cannot.
And then it's like, backstabbing movies, kidnapping movies. If you want to see all that stuff,
Tubi,
and you want to put yourself in them scenarios and be on the edge of your bed, like, oh my God.
What's your movie about?
My movie's about a detective.
The police.
She also was a singer and a songwriter. So it's almost like parallel to my life.
Right.
Because while I was on the job, I was still doing music. So it wasn't like I retired and just started doing music. But anyway, long and short of it, she's pursuing her music and she runs into this guy that has a label, but then he has another life.
Don't they all?
Then she winds up being on an assignment to take him down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we gotta watch this
Did
movie.
she take him down?
Yeah. Well, you gotta watch it.
Oh,
You gotta watch the movie. Yeah.
All right, so tell me this. Was you in the Squid Games?
I was.
Wait, you in Squid Game?
Yeah, player 276.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Player 276.
That's your homework.
I need to
Look at this
you in Squid Game? That's dope. Like
Did you get killed?
well, obviously,
How did you
black
get
people
killed?
didn't
How
make
did
it
you
in that
get killed
damn
in the
movie.
Squid Games? I need to know.
Let me tell you.
So if I ever get caught in that situation,
my NDA is expired.
Yeah,
I think.
tell me
Yeah.
how you got
Yeah,
killed.
because they can't talk about Squid
How you
Game.
got
I know
killed in the
somebody
Squid
was on
Game?
there.
Yeah,
Oh, has it not aired yet?
it aired. They
Okay.
shot me, but
They
they
shot
shot me
you?
after I went over
What
the
you
finish
do?
line.
Oh,
Over
so you
the-
didn't even
they
make it past the
cheated you.
first. You didn't make it past the little girl
They
with the
they
whip
cheated
with
you.
the
did. I ain't even gonna lie.
They cheated you? Oh,
They
man, we
did.
finna protest the Squid
Black
Game.
people shouldn't have no black
Can't be
people
killing
winning.
no
They
black
did.
people when they
It was
finish
one
the
of those
challenge.
things, reality shows.
Right.
So they
Reality
already-
shows are not reality.
They
I
not
keep
really
telling you all that.
reality.
It's fake.
It's just what it is.
Okay.
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 So that's what
I need to
happened.
go back and watch this Squid Game.
Man,
It was a lot.
What's the specific one? It's not the original one when they had the green
It was
sweatsuits on.
episode. No, it was the challenge. The one
challenge.
that
Okay.
they flew us all out to
Okay.
London to
Mhm.
do that show.
Where
Oh,
that's
that's
at? Where
dope.
that's at? Where
Where
can we find that at?
it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Wait, they
easy.
flew y'all to my favorite city in the world.
You love London?
I was there for 6 weeks, baby. I loved London. Everything about
London's
it.
cool.
I love everything.
It's cool.
I had a great
alright.
time in London.
Okay.
I don't know about y'all.
So
No,
tell
but
me
I had a good time.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of the Hustle.
Yes.
That's your new,
That's my latest single.
your latest single.
Mm.
How is that inspired? Tell me what Queen of the Hustle, because immediately when I think, okay, we're the king of the hustle, is you just the queen? Because it's a lot of independent black women that feel like they just, the queen of the hustle and they don't need no king of the hustle.
Oh, nah. I mean,
I'm just asking.
We always need a king.
We always need a king.
I'm
Always.
just asking.
The queen always needs her king.
Always.
So yeah. So the king.
I just wanted to know where the king of the hustle was at.
Yeah, he did.
He always want to make sure the man somewhere around.
Just like
Yeah.
you always want to make sure that.
that one.
Nah, the man needs to be represented too. But the song, I'm not sure if you got to dig into it or if you saw the video.
Mhm.
It's got a lot of dimensions to it. So it's not just talking about making money or being on your hustle. It's talking about also taking a stand against what's going on in our current situation. Now, the song came about during the midterm elections, which was a couple of years ago, and I just held on to it because I didn't know what to do with it, because it was one of those things that was like, it's controversial.
Right.
So my mom was like, you got to do something with this, and I put it out. And that's pretty much because it's talking about women's abortion rights, them, rolling back Roe versus Wade. It's talking about a lot of things. And we need to really find our power and assemble and fight.
They not ready for us, girl.
What you say?
They not ready for us, girl.
Yeah, but get ready.
Okay, so
that's what it's about.
okay. I didn't get a chance to watch that yet, but I will as soon as I get off of here. I was listening to some of you have a blues album. Right?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's not my album.
It's
Yes,
not but I saw the video with you and Lil Flip with the red bottoms and lingeries and
Red bottoms and lingerie. Yeah,
I said lingeries.
Right.
Excuse me.
Because that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, lingeries.
That is how.
Red
that's
bottoms
it.
and lingeries. I think you should change the pronunciation. You ain't got to
Okay,
change the
it's
name.
red
of the song.
bottoms and lingeries. Red bottoms.
Look at that stereo. Yes, it do.
It sounds like licorice. Red bottoms and black licorice. That's what it sounds like.
Red bottoms and lingeries,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen.
We gonna run with it. It got me a Billboard placement, top
Right.
40.
bro, I love
Look
your
at that
accent.
now.
I love it.
Oh,
It's
New
Brooklyn,
York.
Brooklyn,
You
in the
from
house.
Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
Every time I go to New York, I end up in Brooklyn, and it reminds me so much of my hometown.
So much history.
So,
where you from?
I'm so West Coast. I'm from San Francisco, California, right?
Okay.
And I never went to New York till I was well above grown because of the whole East Coast, West Coast beef. You know what I mean? And when I finally went, I'm like, oh, Tupac, you could have called me and told me, like, is this cool out
I
here?
cannot
Yeah,
with you.
it's true.
Because I bet you there's a lot of people that didn't go to the East Coast, or a lot of people from the East Coast that didn't come to the West Coast because of the whole. If you grew up in that area, it was serious.
Man,
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It was divided.
But I still was going out to LA.
I
couldn't
mean,
wait
you
to
know,
go to New York.
but when I went, I was like, oh, this just like home. And I felt so
Right.
at home out there. And
Mhm.
I was disappointed that I never wanted to travel there sooner. And since then, I've been 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, every time I'm like, oh, it's like my back. Hey, let's go. I might be in Harlem, I might be in Brooklyn, I'm in Manhattan, I'm in
Yeah.
Soho, I'm in Jersey.
So
I'm
you
in,
getting
know
all
what
the
I mean?
flavors.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to make up for all the lost time because I could have been coming out here.
During the
And I get such a
those
great
good
reception when I
times.
come out there. It's like, oh, I thought I would be instantly killed because I'm so West Coast.
I cannot.
Oh, you from the West
really,
Coast?
You really thought that?
I mean, it was up.
You so damn crazy.
Yeah.
It was up.
I cannot.
It was up.
First time I went to New York, it was in 2010, maybe 2009.
Mhm.
I went out there for a different reason though. I went out there to strip.
Okay.
So it was a very
Take it
different.
off.
Yeah, no. I was.
How was that experience
I
versus in the South? I like to know.
It's very it's different. It's like the West Coast. Like they don't get fully nude. You know what I mean? Like so if they do, they don't have alcohol. It's the same as California. Whack. So I was like, the South, honey, we get naked and taking off everything. You can serve juice, liquor, whatever you want, but sorry.
Okay.
I mean, I wanted to know. I asked.
Yeah.
You
No,
know.
you're just looking at me like,
No, I'm listening.
yeah, but no, it's very, very different night and day. Very different.
Definitely.
But I love New York, though. So Queen of the Hustle. So are you single?
Oh no,
I'm not.
she love to ask people that.
No.
Hey,
I'm
we're asking, are you single, married, dated? You know, I like to know, like, you know, let's talk about it. You know, because when people are like they're not single, I be like,
then what?
are you married?
Yes.
Well, you know, don't be a hater.
I'm not hating. I'm
Don't
just
be a hater
saying.
over there. That's awesome. How long you been married?
22 years.
Girl,
Is he a
shut
police?
your mouth.
He's not a police.
22, you really?
Okay.
Thank you.
That is awesome. I love that.
How do you balance all of this?
Right, that's what I'm like.
It's
and where are you
hard.
headed with all of this? You know, I mean, you're doing it already.
I mean,
so, you know what I mean?
I've been doing it a while.
Right.
'Cause I started out as
Even when you was a police.
I was a concert promoter.
Can you
I was
tell I have a
singing.
thing for the police?
Do you?
Yes.
No.
Not a good thing,
Yeah, I
girl.
guess
Not a good thing.
yeah.
You don't have a good thing. You know.
I
But,
was-
but that tells you why do you have a problem with the police? I mean, if you're a law-abiding citizen like myself,
I had to sue the
Then-
police twice for what is it?
Excessive force?
Yes, for
Aw,
sure.
that's sorry.
But-
Broke my
but-
back
but-
one time.
but what were you
What?
doing to get put in that situation? I'm not saying that they were right, but how did you even have the encounter with the police? Yep.
Let's see the time. Okay, so literally
Here we go.
the time they broke my back, it was like we was on the bus and somebody was playing the radio too loud. They told them to turn the radio off, and their brother, who was a 5% Muslim, went off on the police. Oh, we don't got to do this, that. So they kicked us off the bus, but before they kicked us off the bus, they called for backup. So when we got off the bus, a paddy wagon pulled up, a few other cars, and they just start literally beating us up. So that's why we had to sue them.
Wow.
Because all I was doing was getting off the bus with my friends. We was just gonna wait for the next bus to come, but it was like, you know, I wasn't doing nothing in particularly. The radio was no cause for us to be beat up like by 15 police, and you know, and I had to convince my mom for months that I didn't do nothing. She must have did something. You must have did something. And I kept saying I didn't do nothing. So this particular time, I didn't do anything, and I stood on that because I actually didn't. All I did was get off the bus. So. You know, well, the second time I did flip them off and this, that, and we was getting into
You
a
know what?
altercation and all that. But, you know, it's just blackmail on the police. Act like you don't know. I appreciate when people who came from inner cities become police officer. I have a friend I grew up with. He's a police officer in Oakland, and he said he ain't had to shoot nobody because he could go into a situation and
be himself.
and talk to people and find out what's
Yeah.
going on. Like, all right, you need to chill out. You know what I mean? Because this is going to escalate if you don't, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
What happened? You know you're going to have to go to jail because you did this, but I'm going to need you to relax. I'm going to need this. You know, we need more of that. So I'm in support
It's
of.
important. It's important, especially where I was, not to cut you
I was
off.
gonna ask you,
Because
were
I
you
worked
police
in
officer?
Nassau, so
house?
Nassau County, Long Island.
Okay.
She wasn't.
So it wasn't that many of us on that department. I was like number 6 to make my rank as detective sergeant, black female.
Mm.
So now you're dealing with you're leading white males for the
Ooh,
most
they
part,
don't
right?
like that.
No, I didn't have any issues.
Really?
I didn't have any issues. But what I did have the opportunity to do is teach sensitivity
Ooh.
and have that conversation. See, the conversation I have with my son is different from the conversation that you have with your son when he leaves the house.
For sure.
I got to tell my son if he gets pulled over to turn on the lights in the car and put his hands at 10 and 2. You don't have, and roll the
12 and
windows
12,
down.
baby.
And you know what I'm saying? And they're like, really? You know, so you have to understand the inherent fear of the community that I come from.
Yeah,
So when you go out there, you understand how to deal with people. So that's right. It's good that you have us that are able to go out there and now make a difference within the police force.
How old was your son?
Oh, back then, my son was small. But that was just using that as an example. My son is in Kennesaw. He's a teenager.
Okay, so yeah,
That was
I
speaking
got you.
hypothetically.
So you got to
Because
be
I would
careful in the
always definitely,
South.
but
Oh, for sure.
but
I
oh,
lived there.
but meaning like I use that as a hypothetical
Right.
example
Right.
when I'm having conversations with the men that are in uniform that are policing our communities, because you get my perspective because I'm black first, then I'm blue, and that's important. So yeah,
I just want to know, is you making another Tubi movie?
I cannot.
yeah.
A little
I-
bit. You
I
feel me?
cannot.
I can act.
yeah.
Can you?
I can act. I got a movie. It didn't make it to
If
Tubi or
anything,
nothing, but
I'm
it's
the
on
one who can
YouTube.
act, darling.
No, we gonna talk about that because we're supposed to be shooting a part 2.
I need to be in part 2.
Okay.
No, I just want to be the person that helps with wardrobe.
Okay.
No, that's what I would love to.
I'm gonna pick my own
That's
wardrobe.
that's what I made you.
Just let me know my
Okay.
character, and I'm gonna do my own wardrobe.
Yeah, he can do the acting, and me, we're gonna shop. We're gonna get dressed in like.
Sounds good to me.
Fine,
Let's go.
So yes, Tubi movies. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
really getting into the. I've been, Tubi.
They got
And
a
you
lot
got
of
the app,
they
and
have a
you'll
lot
go
of
on
good
Tubi.
stuff on
Yeah,
there.
they do.
I
I kid you
yeah.
not. It took me
A
a
lot
long
of
time to get
originals,
into the
too.
wave, but they are a staple now. They right up there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They up there.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a question. Don't be acting like I'm getting all like in her business. Like that's not what I'm doing. But I'm asking as a mom and a wife.
That's what people say right before they get in your business.
No, but we're having a conversation between the hustle, right?
Okay.
Right.
So when you were a police officer,
Mhm.
were you also married
Yeah.
with
She
children,
said
right?
22.
No. I don't know how long. She was a
No,
police
we're
officer.
doing
Right.
24
She said
years.
She just
Okay.
retired in 2021.
Mhm.
Right. So you just recently retired. from
Yeah.
there. That was really so. So how was that juggling motherhood, being a police officer, a wife? Like that's
It's a lot.
And
And I was still doing music.
see
Mhm.
Because I
indeed.
released Red Bottoms and Lingerie and all those other records that came before that, because I started in 2015. So I was still running from work, shooting videos, coming home, cooking, running to skate, running for this, running for that, husband, everything else in between.
Exactly.
Does
Like,
that interfere with your position as a police doing a thing about lingerie with Lil Flip?
no,
No?
not at all.
I cannot.
And not only that, I also sang within the department because I was the departmental vocalist.
Uh-huh. You got
So-
a Christmas album too.
I do.
Okay.
Monique Nicole Christmas.
Oh,
Oh, you did your homework.
He does. He usually is the one that does all the research.
Yes.
I'm gonna be listening to that. I feel like it's too early. I can't even start before Thanksgiving. I see Christmas trees. I see Santa sitting in the mall the other day, and I'm like, you look creepy, guys.
I
You look
cannot.
creepy. Nobody's sitting on your lap right now. It's turkeys
I
and stuff.
I
cannot.
know.
I
Go
cannot.
home until
Yeah.
December.
But you know how that is with the marketing.
It
But
gets
it be
earlier and earlier every year.
So like soon as Halloween is over, here comes
They
Christmas.
finna start doing Valentine's soon as December hit. They finna,
No, it doesn't.
I'm just saying, it starts so crazily early. Santa, sit in your house until December. You look creepy anytime before December, you look creepy. I'm sorry. Anytime before Thanksgiving.
I'm not doing this.
That was my message to
Yeah.
Santa.
Mom
No,
life.
I get it. I get it.
So what made you retire from being a police officer? I used to want to be a cop.
well,
I really
Did
did.
your time.
yeah, 24 years is
Yeah.
enough. I mean,
That's you
for
max
the
out on your
department,
pension
you,
with the P14.
well,
You guys want to go with the P14?
it's you got to do a minimum of, if you want to take your pension at
Mhm.
the time you retire, 20 years. I did 24.
Mhm.
I stayed a little longer because I got made sergeant, then I made detective sergeant, and I was having fun and building my numbers, because everything is numbers game. And once I hit that magic number, I was like, all right, I'm out,
That's
just to
good.
prepare what my money was going to be for the rest of my life.
Right.
Because I still got kids and stuff to take
Right,
care
for
of,
sure.
so put that aside and then just really just going full throttle on all my entrepreneur ventures that I got going
Real,
on.
for real.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Well, I
Because
tell you.
I definitely know I work. I got to make sure that, I have my stable income while I'm doing all, because I done did so much stuff entertainment and media wise,
Mhm.
but a lot of times you can't solely depend on that. And people like, oh, Steve Harvey like, oh, I slept in my car. And
Yeah,
Tyler Perry be
yeah.
like, oh, I slept in my truck.
Nah,
for
I'm
3
good on
months.
that.
And, I could do that if it's just me. Oh yeah, I could bounce
Mhm.
around and do that.
Right.
But if I got a person or a family to take care of. I'm
Yeah.
not willing to do that for them for my dreams. And sometimes it do pay off for people. I don't know how necessarily
In
true,
pursuit
because
of
Cat Williams
happiness.
said they lying, that's his story. I was homeless. But
Pursuit
I'm
of
just
happiness.
saying,
We saw how that worked. That was a true story.
I mean, he really didn't. He was really grinding and he was really on his
And it was
thing,
just
and it was him and his son.
son.
But it
Yeah.
wasn't like he was like pursuing a thing where it was like entertainment or media. He was really pursuing something like in corporate
To help
America, and he's already in this situation. So rather than conform to that situation, he rather sacrifice for the time it took to get to where he knew he could get with this thing because he was that good at it. And it could be like that for entertainment. It could be like that for whatever you're doing. But you know, it's different stuff to be like,
It's a personal choice,
yeah, for
right?
sure.
And I get it because everybody's journey is different. But from the way I was raised, it's like you always want to have a bird in the hand.
Mhm.
So, and you know, that's just what it was. It was like, okay, my father was like, you ain't gonna be out there just shucking and jiving and
Right.
everything
At
else.
all.
You better make sure you go to school, you do this, you do that. And you know, my father was on the fire department. He was a lieutenant. And you know, he was like, civil service is the way to go. They led me down the right path.
Right,
I am
right.
not mad at it.
Right.
I was initially because I wanted to just sing. But he was like, you can't just be singing because bills gonna need to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fact. That's a fact. So
Okay.
that's how that happened.
We done talked about so much stuff.
Mhm.
So if ever there were a necessary and ever there was an absolute unnecessary, tell me what those would be for you.
If there was ever a unnecessary,
The necessary, unnecessary. If ever there was a necessary, what would a necessary be for you, and what would an unnecessary be for you?
well, I mean, there's so many things that are
I
necessary.
guess around
one.
like
What's
Queen
your
of,
top?
around the hustle.
What's your top necessary?
around base it around
Queen of the hustle.
there
Around that.
Base it around that.
Oh, what's necessary is that we have equal rights.
Mm.
That the same rights we've been fighting for, and now we're being pushed back to 1963. So
Right.
yeah, that's very necessary.
Right.
Can
So-
you campaign with Kamala a little bit?
I mean, I was out there.
I would have been out there with you too, girl. Trust and believe.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
been out there with you.
I was out
sure
there,
would've.
you know, you can't just talk it, you gotta walk it
Exactly.
too. You know?
We tried to go see Kamala and Obama.
Yeah. That
We
was a
got
tough
through it.
night. Yeah.
I wanted to cry. I was so mad.
I'm sorry.
I just got off.
But so-
I'm looking at him like it's
What's your unnecessary?
My unnecessary. My unnecessary is being fake.
Mm.
Yep, for sure.
Real shit.
Totally. Like what you see is what you get. This is what it is. So that was easy.
That's what I'm talking about. See what you see is what you get. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
My necessary and unnecessary. Is yes, exactly what you said. Be true to yourself. Stand up for what you believe in. Very necessary. No matter what people say, you fight for your rights.
That's right.
And unnecessary is wasting time, just sitting around not hustling. Like, get it however you can, do whatever you can, be the best at whatever you can be.
Mhm. I like
My necessary is every king of the hustle get a queen
God,
of the
child.
hustle.
Okay.
Y'all hustle together and be a power hustle for sure.
Yeah.
And my unnecessary
I like it.
is the police. No.
I'm not
Nah.
mad at you.
No, you
Nah,
did not.
but I need for more people that came up in the community and know to be police officers so that they can intercede, and that I believe that is what will cut down on police brutality and violence. We don't need the black people that's gonna come in and be police and turn a blind eye and they just as blue as you. We need the black people that's gonna get there before them and Be like, boy, you better get out of
De-escalate
here and
that
stop
whole
playing and get
situation.
up out of here, because if them people come, you know how they finna do. So you need to stop playing right now. Get in the backseat with me, and I'm gonna take you there before anything else happens because you dragging it right now. So that's my unnecessary.
All right.
That was
I
good.
like it.
All right. Well, we out, y'all.
Is that it? Is that a wrap?
It's a wrap.
All right.
That was absolutely.